Hold on, wait. All right, I was making sure the thing didn't start recording. It mistakenly clicked that. Anyway, it's good job, Project Man. Today we're back again with another video. We gonna talk about obviously what you gonna see in the title, and that is that apparently yesterday. Well, is it yesterday or did this? No, I don't think this happened yesterday. I think it became crazier and crazier viral yesterday. Like it was already. I think it happened on Saturday, if I'm not mistaken. But apparently, Rampage Jackson. You know what I'm saying? If you don't know, he's a MMA fighter. You know what I'm saying? Very dangerous man, you know what I'm saying, does his thing in there with the MMA fighting and stuff like that. He was in the UFC and all this other type of stuff, right? So dangerous man, you know what I'm saying? But the news is that his son, Raja Jackson, apparently he was at a wrestling event, and the story, I'm not going to show you the footage. You can kind of all see it for yourself. Most people have probably already seen it, so I ain't even going to show the footage. But there was a wrestler, I forgot his name, but there was a wrestler at Knox Pro. I think that was the wrestling place that they was at and stuff like that. That's what the company and all that good stuff was. And there was basically his son Raja. Apparently he just freaking went crazy. Like he just started freaking beating this guy up that I think his name was like, what was his name? I'm trying to find the name of the guy he actually beat up so I got all my names right. Let me see. I'm trying to make sure that I got see, just to make sure I got his name right. You know what I'm saying? What is it? Psycho Stu? Okay, yeah. Okay, I was all right. There we go. Okay, I was making sure I got the name right. So Psycho Stu. That's the name of the wrestler that he had, was beating up. And it was just freaking crazy because if you know the footage, I can't show the footage because, YouTube gonna goddamn, take your boy down. But basically, it was literally just Raja, Rampage Jackson's son, just throwing crazy haymakers and punches on this wrestler named Psycho Smith. And this dude was like, he had like raised him up and slammed him down. By that point, he was already out. So apparently before that, Psycho Smith had hit him in the head with a beer can, thinking that when Psycho Smith had saw a camera, because Raja is a streamer, so he had his camera on, he got his camera, his cameraman streaming him and stuff like that. And the wrestler hits him in the head with a beer can, and he was like, and Psycho Smith is like, after he hit Raja with the beer can, he was like, oh, so you're not going to sell it? You know what I'm saying? And in wrestling, that basically mean that like take it as if you really was, hurt and stuff like that, and you sell it as if you were really like affected by what just happened to you, So when he doesn't move after getting hit with a beer can, he just like, oh, you ain't gonna sell it or whatever. So it's a little bit of an argument going on, and basically Psycho Smith like apologizes to him and say like, hey man, I didn't know it. I thought you was like a part of basically I guess he thought like he was a wrestler, and that when he saw cameras that it was supposed to get in the wrestler mode where you kind of get all confrontational and all that type of stuff, and thought it was all part of a thing. And basically, I think either Psycho Smith or one of the other wrestlers said, hey, like, you could get your payback when we get in the ring tonight. Like, you could get your payback, jump the barricade, get in the ring, and get your payback. So that's what led to Raja going in there against Psycho Smith, picking him up like legit, like not no like wrestling type takedown, like a legit grabbed you up from the legs, up in the air, slammed you down to the mat, and then Raja just starts freaking throwing haymakers. I think they said like he landed like 20 punches. It was crazy. Guy was already out off the slam, but after he was out with the slam, like defense as in like arms are by his side, he cannot move. It's gonna be in the thumbnail at least, but just cannot move, cannot do a goddamn thing, and he's just defenseless. And the guy and Raja is just throwing crazy amounts of punches, giving his head a goddamn two-piece combo, treating his head like this speed bag that I got. Treated his head like that, like a goddamn speed bag to just tee off on, throw as many punches as you like. So that is the situation. So the first 5 minutes is just me telling you exactly what happened, what the situation is. The wrestlers had to break him up, and then Raja even started trying to like push away the other wrestlers. Like he just trying to fight everybody. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like now he just trying to fight everybody, and he got done, tries to take him out and take those wrestlers down and stuff like that. And the guy was obviously like just not in control, bro. Like it was freaking crazy. But yeah, he is trying to fight the other wrestlers, like the ones that are trying to break this up. And man, that referee of that match didn't rush at all to to get involved to stop that, bro. Like, no lies detected, bro. He legit did not try to get involved at all. Like, the referee already deserves some type of, like, what the fuck, man? Because the second something go wrong, as the referee, bro, you get in there and you got done, like, help his ass out, bro. Like, once you realize that, hey, bro, like, he is obviously not doing, you know, what we may have made a part of the plan or whatever, like, you gotta got done, get in there and, you know, help him out. But yeah, so basically Rampage Jackson, and so like I said, he tried to take out all the wrestlers that were, like, you know, all piling up on him in the corner to stop him from, you know, throwing more punches, doing more damage or whatever. And then Raja leaves and he's mad and said, oh, I'm tired of these people playing with me, and he's cursing and all this other type of stuff. And the wrestlers are just trying to, I think it was a wrestler just trying to tell them basically to leave and stuff like that. And that's how the whole situation goes down. So the last thing I'm gonna say is what his dad, Rampage Jackson, actually said about the situation on his Twitter. I'm reading it right here on this post right here. And it quotes, I want to clear up the misinformation about my son, Raja. I've been confirmed that the wrestler Stuart Smith, a.k.a. Psycho Stu. So was it Psycho Smith or did I say Psycho Smith or Psycho Stu? I forgot. Psycho Stu is the wrestler name, if I butchered that, is awake and stable. Rampage Jackson wrote, Raja was unexpectedly hit in the side of the head by him moments before Smith's match. Raja was told that he could get his payback in the ring. I thought it was part of the show. It was bad judgment and a work that went wrong. Raja is an MMA fighter, not a pro wrestler, and had no business involved in an event like this. I don't condone my son's actions at all. He suffered a concussion from sparring only days ago and had no business being anything remotely close to physical contact. As a father, I'm deeply concerned with his health and the well-being of Mr. Smith. That being said, I'm very upset that any of this happened, but my main concern is that Mr. Smith will make a speedy recovery. I apologize on his behalf to Kick and the situation. So that was what his dad had said about the situation and stuff like that. And now I'm gonna give you my actual thoughts on it. So that all was just giving you the story and the context. It's mainly Roger's fault, right? Because, like, bro, you went in there, picked the guy up. Like, all legit, like he didn't do this in no way of, like, a work or, like, a, hey, we're going to try to make this part of the show to kind of, you know, maybe, you know, just to have something fun or whatever, you know, create some drama or whatever. But it's not going to be legit drama. Like, you're not going to, legit beat him up or whatever. But they said he could get his payback in the ring. Now, when you tell a non-wrestler after he got hit with a beer can, right, or got hit with anything, if you tell a non-wrestler, especially when it's an MMA fighter, you tell a non-wrestler that, hey, you can get your payback in the ring, bro, and you don't, like, thoroughly explain to him what that means. Like, if they would have thoroughly explained to him, this is why I say a little bit of it is the promotion or whoever is involved at Knox Pro Academy, whatever. Like, a little bit of this is their fault, because they should have explained to him what we mean by payback is, like, this is where we need to, any non-MMA fighter or what, or it doesn't matter if they're an MMA fighter, NFL player, a janitor, a gas station worker, whatever. You have to tell a non-wrestler, hey, your get back, as in throw a punch or two at him, that's legit, but that doesn't knock him out. It just roughs him up a little, right? It don't knock him out. He still got to do all these dates and stuff like that. So at most, throw like one or two punches at him, like, that are gonna not knock him out, but like that are roughening him up a little, like rough him up a little, like, you know, cause like in a way where he can still wrestle the next day and all this other stuff. Just one or two, you know, punches that you don't throw nearly at full strength or whatever. And then the rest are like working punches, like you're not actually gonna hit them. You're just gonna look like you're beating the crap out of them, but you're not actually gonna beat the crap out of them. But like, you know, here's how you throw some working punches, boom, 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 where you can get close to his head, but don't actually hit him, type of thing. So if that wasn't done beforehand, like them thoroughly explaining what we mean by payback, as in you can get about a punch or two legit ones that are not like at your full strength, like I said, just something that'll rough them up a tad, but nothing that's gonna like knock them unconscious or send them to the hospital, right? And then the rest can be like, you know, work punches, you know, they're not legitimately hitting them or whatever. Now, if they didn't explain that to him beforehand, then a little bit of this goes to them, because you just told a non-wrestler, and at that, a MMA fighter, that he can get his payback. Like, MMA fighters trained at any level are a walking weapon and a massive threat to anybody in society. So the fact that they didn't tell him what they meant by payback, as in, hey, you can get your receipt or whatever, but just don't go too crazy. If they didn't explain that to him, what to do, how to do it, then a little bit of that is on them. Now, whether they said that or not, most of it obviously goes on Roger, because he literally, once he saw that the guy was defenseless and didn't have his hands up, wasn't moving, after them first 2-3 punches, that should have been, yo, okay, I've done enough. Like, I've gotten enough of my payback, because the guy can't even, like, defend himself, get out the way, anything like that. That being said, considering that was the case, yeah, it was no reason why either that he should have been allowed to be in there, and like I said, part of it also could be the people that were a part of this, like the, you know, wrestlers, stuff like that was a part of this, or that told him or whatever that, hey, he get his payback. I think that they should have told him, hey, like, this is what you allowed to do, this is what you, you know, should do, this is what you shouldn't do, type of thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, if they didn't explain that to, like I said, if they didn't explain that to him beforehand, then a little bit of this goes on them, but most of it goes on Roger. Because like I said, bro, you literally was in control. Like, you basically had this guy, you had this guy's life in your hands, bro, when you started just wailing on him. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, bro, this is why you gotta be, you can't just let anybody get in the ring, bro. You can't just let anybody just go in there and do whatever they want, or basically tell them, hey, you can get your payback. Like, bro, if you tell an MMA fighter, especially a young one, that he can get his payback, they take that as, oh, I'm allowed to just goddamn go crazy. And that's not what he's allowed to do. You know what I'm saying? So I think part of this, most of it was his fault, because like I said, you got in there and, you know, for whatever reason, basically decided to almost attempt to freaking end this man's life, let alone career, by just freaking going in and, like I said, delivering a bunch of unprotected shots. Like, he's not getting his hands up or nothing. And then on top of that, you didn't even start. What was gonna be the end? You know what I'm saying? Like, because he kept, like I said, he only stopped throwing punches because people pulled him off. So I'm like, what was gonna be the end goal? You know what I'm saying? Like, what was gonna be the end goal? And his dad was saying, you know, he got kind of hit in the head a couple days before that, and so he was like on top, like wasn't in his right mind or whatever. But or that could have contributed to that or whatever. But yeah, nah. Last thing I'm gonna say on it is, definitely should have been some definitely needs to be some goddamn repercussions for that, bro. Like, bro, you looking at like jail time, bro, because you legit just started beating up on a guy that, like, they didn't say, hey, go out there and end him. You know, like, they just say, hey, your receipt, get your little payback or whatever. Your payback should be like I say, something that roughen them up a tad, but not something that's gonna goddamn like stop him from doing whatever, you know, bookings that he got left, or that anything that's gonna stop him from doing, you know, normal stuff in life, like, I don't know, walking. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, it was mostly Roger's fault, because you need to got done. How would you not? What made you think it was okay to like go crazy like that and roughing somebody up who, like I said, is defenseless? And why, in what world would you think that you doing that would not lead to some type of repercussion, whether it's getting banned off Kick, the streaming platform they were using, banned off Kick, or going, like I said, to jail, or anything like that? So it's just, these people are not thinking clearly, or maybe it's something that affects that, whatever the case may be. Obviously, this man was not thinking clearly, and they, like I said, should have thoroughly explained to him beforehand what they meant by payback. They're like, bro, especially to somebody who knows how to fight, you got to explain exactly to them what to do and all this other type of stuff. Now, at that point, if they go off the rails, then yeah, that's all on them. Don't trust that person ever again. Get them out of there. But yeah, hopefully, I think it was Stu Smith. Hopefully he's good. You know, doing well. Hopefully he does have a nice recovery, healthy recovery, speedy recovery, whatever the case may be, and that everything just got done. You know, comes out for the better out of this situation. What I mean for the better is everybody leaves this situation in general, and everybody leaves this situation doing better, man. Because that could have been like, you know, I mean, he got hospitalized. That was bad, but the worst thing could have been, obviously, like I said, that, you know, he up out of here. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, they gotta be careful. You can't just trust that anybody gonna got done and follow the rules. That's my biggest thing. Like, you can't just tell somebody, hey, they can get their payback, because they, especially with somebody who knows how to fight, they gonna take that as, oh, so they basically said I can do whatever I want in there. So yeah, this should have been thoroughly explained what they meant by that, and then also Raja just don't need to be anywhere near no wrestling ring, because I guarantee you, even if he ever wanted to work with a promotion or whatever to do something, they ain't trusting him. Well, nor should they. You know what I'm saying? So he need to get away from that. He needs to suffer some repercussions for that, because that's the only way people learn in life in general. Like when they mess up and stuff like that, is when they suffer the goddamn repercussions and stuff like that. You know, because if you don't, if they are, I should say, if they don't, then you know, it's just gonna make it seem like stuff like that is okay to do, and it's not. So hopefully, he gets, you know, Roger gets away from the situation as a whole. Don't do nothing with no wrestling, nothing like that, because clearly you do not get, and nor have they probably explained to you what you should be doing in there and what you should not be doing in there. But anyway, hopefully, like I said, Stu has a healthy, speedy recovery and all that good stuff, man. But at the end of the day, what I say it is what's going to be this project. You can see to come out with content videos, bangs over and over again for you guys. Y'all comment down below what y'all thought of the situation, how you think it could have been handled better, all that good stuff. What you thought of it just seeing it, because I know everybody ain't even like, you know, watching wrestling. Like, what did you think of it in general? You know what I'm saying? If you just saw it on your feed and had nothing to do with you being a fan of wrestling or nothing like that. But anyway, I'm going to keep doing my thing, keep doing it well. Y'all do y'all thing. Hit up all these socials, like, comment, subscribe to the channel, and we're going to keep doing our thing. And we're going to do we need to be at the top of the goddamn game, man. Love and appreciate you guys, and I shall see you on the next video. We'll keep putting the work grind time in there for that is the vibe that DJ's on.